All right. Welcome to the Yankee Rebel Wrestlecast. I am your captain, Brian, and with me is my arch nemesis, Tommy. We want to welcome you to the broadcast. Tommy and I will be bringing you this live Wrestlecast every week. Tommy, go ahead and introduce yourself to everybody.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, my name's Tommy. And just know that whatever I say is true. Whatever Brian says,
What?
eh.
Are we going to start our first Wrestlecast like that?
Why not? It's Mania season, baby. I'm kind of getting a little fiery here.
Yeah, you got some fire.
I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it.
You've got some fire going on, and we're gonna have a blast tonight because we got a lot to talk about, and we have got Tommy and I will probably end up fighting before it's over with, and that's okay.
That's
is
a
okay.
guarantee. That is probably
it
a
is,
guarantee.
And while we're waiting, I do want to make sure that all of our platforms are working. We are live right now on YouTube, our Facebook group, and Twitter X. All of it Yankee Rebel Wrestlecast. So we want you
Share
guys
the stream, everybody.
Yes, share. Let me make sure that we are live on YouTube. And let me click it. We are live on YouTube as well. So make sure you guys are sharing. We are going to have this show is going to be unbiased. Whether Tommy and I agree or not, whether you agree with us or not, we are going to tell the facts. Tommy has been a wrestling fan as long as I have. To tell you a little bit about my background as well, I've spent over a decade in radio where I actually helped wrestling organizations, and I was the ring announcer for PWF in Corbin for a long time. Got involved in some angles and the Soul Stone Cold Stunner of Bobby Blade, which is a Kentucky Hall of Famer, and also got hit with a kendo stick about 4 times by Cash Flow, the ex OVW heavyweight champion. And I feel like that I still have those marks. As Al Snow told me at Lexington Comic-Con, you don't have marks anymore. He just wrecked your soul. So
you have soul marks.
Yeah, I have soul marks, and that guy can swing a kendo stick. But we're going to jump in first thing. And again, welcome, guys. Again, share this. Tell everybody to get on here. We are going to talk wrestling as long as it takes. But we are going to first talk about the SmackDown preview for tonight. And Tommy, you and I talked a little bit about this prior to the show starting. But tonight
finally
is the first appearance of Jade Cargill as a SmackDown superstar. How the hell long did that take?
It's only been how many months? I mean, she's been seen once at the Rumble, and then that was it.
And we thought she was going to win it.
Yeah. I don't know at this point. Like, I have high hopes for her because I've been a fan of her from AEW and her rise and her popularity. She's great, but
yes.
When are you going to use her? Like, you got a perfect avenue because you got no Charlotte Flair. She's on the shelf. Like, the perfect time to build her up because really Charlotte's the only one who's like they put on a pedestal above everyone else. Like,
do you think Bianca Belair, her status has an issue with Jade Cargill coming in and maybe taking away from her status quo because Jade's bigger than she is? I feel like she's stronger than Bianca Belair is.
I think Jade is now the EST of WWE.
I won't argue with
Bianca's
that.
Got a problem with that. The only thing Bianca has over Jade is the length of her hair. I'm sorry.
And that's not taking anything away from Bianca's in-ring ability, because she is super amazing. But I'm like, when Jade enters the arena, and I saw Jade live when she was in AEW, there's just a presence about Jade Cargill that it's not that the flashy theme song like Bianca has, and she comes out twirling her hair and all this stuff. Jade's got that I'm a really bad bitch karma.
Yeah. Like,
and
she walks in and you're just like this lady owns the room. Like, this is her world and we're living in it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like with Bianca, I'm kind of getting to how I feel about Bianca, about how I did about Bayley before Bayley turned heel. It was just the same song and dance with the Bayley buddies.
Yeah.
Like, it's dumb. It's kind of wearing thin on me, and I'm waiting for her to kind of just snap.
Yeah.
And just go off, because that's kind of what she needs.
Could we see a heel Bianca Belair at some point?
I certainly hope so. I honestly would like to think that her turning heel, especially on Jade, could really help elevate both of them, because Jade's already a fan favorite. And I really feel like, besides the little girls, Bianca's kind of fallen off on people.
Absolutely. Well, Tommy, let's jump into the rest of the SmackDown card, which, speaking of Bianca, she's taking on Dakota Kai. I'm not I can't believe I'm going to say this shit. I can't understand why Dakota Kai has had 2 big-time matches on SmackDown. I love Dakota as a person. I hate her as a wrestler.
Now,
why are you choosing your words, Tommy?
Because I just need to know why you think WWE thinks it's okay for Dakota fucking Kai to have matches before Jade Cargill does.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Tell me how that makes any sense.
I totally agree.
Because to me, it's kind of a waste. To me, it's just a throwaway match. Honestly, to me, it just, fill the card, throw Bianca, throw Damage Control, whatever.
Yeah,
it's just pointless. And Dakota, to me, she holds no stake in anything. She's not going to be the end all be all to anything. She's literally there for catering at this point.
Bro, I think she needs to re-tag team up with Candice LeRae, and they need to call it a day. I'm not taking anything away from Dakota Kai, but you're not going to, as Tony Schiavone would say, you're not going to put asses in seats with Dakota Kai.
No.
It's just not going to happen.
No, because she had her big moment in NXT when she turned on Tegan Nox in that War Games match.
Yes.
That I wasn't expecting. I was like, wow. Like, that was her moment, and she didn't seize it. She's kind of been just fizzling off ever since.
I totally agree. And those of you that are watching tonight, which, by the way, thank you for tuning in to our first show ever. Feel free to put your comments in the chat. I want to know what you guys think about the things that Tommy and I are talking about, and we want to kind of take that aspect as well, and make sure that you guys put your name at the start, because for some reason it's showing up as Facebook users. So if you're on another platform, I'm sure it's showing your actual name. But I want, Tommy, I want you to jump into the omissions of Mania, and I want us to talk about that for a minute.
So, me personally, given the status of the tag team division, I personally thought it would be more beneficial to have the Diamond Mine in there, the Creed brothers. Having them in Mania, I feel like would have further boosted that match. Because do you
think, though, that they're as over as they were in NXT. I mean, you're talking about guys wearing singlets, looking like they're coming out to wrestle in the NCAA championship. And let's face it, bro, that gray is horrid.
So I don't think they're as over as an NXT. However, they are more talented, in my personal opinion, than having the Miz and R-Truth. Because to me, that's not what I personally want to see.
But you look at it though, R-Truth is probably one of the top 3 over superstars in WWE right now.
And I don't understand it. I mean, it was funny at first, and then I feel like it's like watching SpongeBob. I'm losing brain cells as I watch it. I'm like, you have stuff over here with The Rock and Cody, where he's saying, fuck this, fuck you, all this other stuff. And then you got, my bad. Like, what are you, like, what? I don't know. To me, as just a wrestling purist and just wanting to see the best talent in the ring, I feel like the Creed brothers should have been in there. Have they been booked the greatest? No. But I feel like they should have been given this platform to showcase their talents versus a couple people in there. But you know,
well, a lot of people are saying the same thing about Austin Theory and Grayson Waller, because they're saying that they have the great heel aspect. I mean, they sure as hell have a lot better heel aspect than Angel and Humberto.
yeah,
And I mean, and you know, Austin Theory has been a champion multiple times and beat John Cena. And let's not forget about how good that
can we emphasize the beat John Cena?
Yeah,
please. Okay.
Yeah. So it's your omissions though is that we're having 2 tag team matches tonight that are completely irrelevant on SmackDown because they released the WrestleMania poster with the winners of these matches already.
It's so stupid. It's so stupid because as we were preparing for the show, I was looking at it on my phone, and I'm looking, and I'm like, okay, well, those are your six tag teams, and then I'm looking at the preview, and I'm like, wait, am I a week behind? Like, did I miss something? No, the marketing team just sucks.
Hang on just a minute. Let me see if I still have it up. I don't even know if I still have it up. I don't. I do not. But that's okay. That's all right. So can we say that looking at the SmackDown card for tonight, lackluster, other than Jade Cargill making her debut?
Absolutely.
There's no Rock, there's no Cody, there's no Roman. Nothing is advertised.
Yeah, unless they pull what they did, last,
we'll double check it again.
And then The Rock just, magically just comes out, or somebody comes out. I mean,
so preview. Let's go into it. So Jade Cargill, Street Profits, Bianca. Okay, so Kevin Owens and Randy Orton are taking on Pretty Deadly, filler match. New Catch Republic, which whoever thought of that name, absolutely terrible. Against Legado del. Yeah, I mean, so we have nothing that is saying, and let's face it, folks. We're what?
We're literally
a week away from WrestleMania,
and this is what we got on the card.
So I'm like, wait a minute. So we get no Roman, we get no Cody, we get no Seth Rollins, no Drew McIntyre. Are you going to wait on everything for Raw or are you going to have like the most stellar SmackDown before Mania that you could possibly have? I mean, what is everybody taking a week off to get ready for Mania? I mean, to me, that's lackluster. There's no build there. There is nothing that is exciting other than Jade Cargill showing up for the first time.
Right. And which, I mean, finally she's here. Literally, finally she's actually making her SmackDown debut as a superstar.
Yeah.
But I just can't see how you don't have literally your main event match not even on the card.
Yeah.
You have no Roman. I mean, maybe you'll get something from Heyman. I mean, maybe. See, I think it would be smart if just to start off the night, they had, surprisingly, oh, Roman's in the ring, or hey, Rock's in the ring to address the crowd or something like that, Just kind of like a spur of the moment thing.
It would sell more tickets. It would sell more tickets.
Right, because, I mean, they had how many weeks of sellouts? Like, The Rock was advertised, sellouts. Every single week. And now you advertise these people, and I don't think they're sold out. I mean, not that I've heard.
And with that, I want us to jump directly into Mania. All right. So,
as you can see on the bottom, the leaked tag team match. So
let's zoom in on that, shall we?
Yeah, please.
Hang on just a second. Well, is it going to let me? Well, no. It's not letting me zoom in on the picture. All right, but you have DIY, which deservingly should be in the match.
Absolutely. Hands down.
You've got Miz and R-Truth, which is Tommy's favorite tag team.
Yeah, fuck them. I'm so sick of them.
Then, of course, you have the tag team champions, Senior Money in the Bank and Finn Balor.
Judgment Day, baby.
And then you have, looks like, wait a minute.
Grayson Waller.
You have Grayson Waller and Austin Theory. Wait a minute. Aren't they wrestling on SmackDown tonight to determine who's going to have the spot for Mania?
I'm pretty sure, I think we showed in the preview that Waller and Theory, I think they're no.
Yeah, they're wrestling Street Profits.
Yeah. So they're gonna be in it, and then
and then you have New Day. You have New Day, which is kind of a given.
Yeah.
I mean, they are one of the longest reigning tag team champions of all time. And then you have Humberto and Angel Garza.
Yep.
And so it's somebody in marketing has made a major doo-doo, and you've got the winner. If you've looked at the WrestleMania card, you know the winners of tonight's matches. And that makes SmackDown even suckier for tonight.
I mean, if I wasn't a fan already, I probably wouldn't watch, but I'm still going to watch because you never know what's going to happen. I mean, after this,
I'm in the stands. I've got my Raw cup.
I mean, after this, they may just have to throw up a Hail Mary and just not advertise and just bring people in just to help save the show. Because, I mean, not that was a real stellar card anyway, but now you really got nothing. Now you got Jade and you got KO Randy versus Pretty Deadly.
Yeah. Which is basically, is Logan Paul going to come out, or is Randy and Kevin going to stare each other down at the end of the match? And there's no build up, and that's the point I'm trying to make, is that there's no build up for this show. It's useless.
Yeah.
And I feel bad for the people that, other than the people that came there to see Jade Cargill, they're not going to really get anything else tonight. And I feel bad for the people that bought tickets for this.
Yeah. And here's what's crazy. It's like, of the SmackDown talent that's on this card right here, Bayley isn't advertised. Io Sky isn't advertised. You got no Jimmy Uso. LA Knight and AJ Styles are nowhere to be seen.
And they've got to build the match up a little bit more.
Yeah, because when they did the whole LA Knight got arrested, I was like, oh, come on.
I was like, is Vince still in charge?
Right. Like, both of them are better than that. LA Knight don't need that. AJ doesn't need that. They both can talk. Let them talk.
Yeah. So let's with that, let's go over the WrestleMania card. You and I are going to make our predictions. Those of you that are watching, Make your predictions in the chat. This is an interactive show. We want you to interact with us. The first thing that I see on this WrestleMania card is the fact that every time I see The Weeknd, he gets older. And how many damn times is The Weeknd gonna have the WrestleMania song?
It's been like 3 years in a row.
I'm like, I don't like The Weeknd. I've never liked The Weeknd. And this him converting to an old man, whatever it is, it's the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life. I'm like, dude, go back to your satanic hell, whatever you're worshiping, and do your thing. I mean, at this point, I'd rather have Machine Gun Kelly with the song of WrestleMania than that's how sick of The Weeknd I am. Okay, I'm like,
why can't? I mean, hey, I would like just a throwback. Give me some Limp Bizkit.
Absolutely.
Give me some Kid Rock. He's already in the Hall of Fame. Like, give me something a little edgier than The Weeknd. I mean, I like The Weeknd personally, but I feel like the song should definitely be divvied up and not have the same artist every single year. Because I feel like the song should represent the event itself.
Yeah. So Gasoline is our song this year.
Yep, a lot of gasoline on tonight's show.
Yeah, bring the Backstreet Boys. Hell, I'd rather listen to the Backstreet Boys than I would The Weeknd. And who is running our company right now? Triple H is running the company, which is the biggest metalhead in all of professional wrestling. I mean, for God's sakes, he had Motorhead for not one but 2 theme songs.
Yeah,
I mean, he had.
And you would think from running NXT, all the songs they had back in the day, you could have something better than this.
All right.
I mean, seriously.
So that point being, I want to take that out. Yeah, let's bring Fozzy in. That's what we need to do.
Yeah, let's break the fourth wall again.
Yeah, Judas would be great. Judas would be great, God. Especially if we have this turn and everything. Which, you know, Tommy and I and our wives had the precious glory of hearing Fozzy for 4 straight days. And that was amazing.
Great
but let's start off with the tag team match, Tommy. Who do you have? Do you have DIY? Do you have Miz and R-Truth? Do you have the champions retaining? Do you have Austin Theory and Grayson Waller, New Day, or Humberto and Angel Garcia, which makes no sense to me? But who do you have in this particular match?
So I would love to see DIY get their due. I feel like it's been a long time coming for them, especially being back as a team. So I'd like to see them. However, I just don't see the Judgment Day losing it. I just feel like they're just too hot right now. And I just think that given the current state of the tag team division, I don't think currently there's a team that they've put in position to take them over. But in a 6-team ladder match, I mean, anything can happen. So I'm leaning towards I want DIY, but I just think the champs are going to retain.
I myself personally am going to go with DIY because they are experienced in ladder matches, and they need their due. They've wrestled so much lately that there is a push happening that maybe nobody can see. And I think that Judgment Day is slowly going to start imploding. And we also have to realize Damian Priest still has the Money in the Bank. And that's a big factor. So I think DIY with the win, finally getting their due, and becoming the undisputed tag team champions.
Yeah, that's interesting you mentioned the Money in the Bank because he has till, I believe, July to cash that thing in. It feels like it's been 2 years since he's cashed in. Because it's just like he had us a couple times and it just never gets brought up. There's no inkling towards it. So do you actually hold on. I've even heard rumors that he'll take this thing all the way up to Money in the Bank. Like he'll take it all the way up to the pay-per-view. And I've even
Which
heard something as stupid
it
as
is
them
stupid.
saying he'll take it up to the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. It'll expire and he'll win it again because they can't find the right timing. Because I don't feel like they've really planned that out. I feel like with all the reroutes and stuff they've had to do with Punk and with everything that's gone on, they keep having to pivot, and there's no spot for Damian Priest.
Well, he's not over right now anyway.
No, and I think he's a great talent. He's definitely grown in the Judgment Day. Would you agree with that?
I would agree with that, and I think he's even got to the point where he's overshadowing Finn Balor at this point.
Yeah. Finn's honestly kind of been second fiddle. Just riding along, and I don't know. We'll see. I mean,
all right,
saw the cracks earlier.
Yep, absolutely. Let's move on to LA Knight versus AJ Styles. Great promos so far. Great altercations so far. I'm an LA Knight guy. Yeah. And I want to see LA Knight get his due. I think he got screwed by not being put into the U.S. Championship match.
Yeah.
When are they going to let this guy win a championship? He is over. How much over does this guy have to have? I mean, he's had 4 T-shirts in the last 6 months. And we went to wrestling, a house show, and he was the first match on, but all of his merchandise was sold before anybody else's.
Yeah.
So are you taking LA Knight or are you taking AJ? Do you think this is AJ's last run? I'm not a fan of super heel AJ, only if the Bullet Club's around him.
Yeah, I'm definitely going LA Knight here. I'm a huge LA Knight fan. I think he's been white hot for way too long. And I think, I mean, it doesn't make sense to me. You bring back the OC, but then you have AJ turn heel on them. To me, that makes no sense whatsoever given their history. So I feel like they already lost me there.
Yeah.
And with AJ being the established star he is, I feel like it gives LA Knight a good rub. If he wins, that's a big notch on his big match belt. And I feel like 2024, you better push this dude to the moon.
Yeah.
Like by SummerSlam, I better see a belt on his shoulder.
Yeah.
Or,
I agree with
hey, even a briefcase. Give him the briefcase, damn it. Give him the briefcase. Because that man deserves it.
And Allison said that she has a house divided. She loves AJ, but her husband loves LA Knight. And Allison's an old school wrestling fan. So she is she's got some good intake.
I mean, it's hard not to root for AJ, but there's certain people that I will pick over AJ, and LA Knight's one of them.
I mean, the guy has the greatest hair in professional wrestling. Let's face that.
Yeah.
He does. I mean, AJ's got the greatest hair. I don't know what he does. And every time I see him wrestle, I want to touch his hair. And that's the stupidest thing I could ever say. But
you're just going to go Joe Biden, just give it a snip.
That's it. That's it. I mean, here's the deal. Here's the deal. When I'm at the pool, when the sun hits my legs, it makes my hair turn blonde. But yeah, so we can, here's the deal. But LA Knight definitely should go over in this match, hopefully setting up for a championship run of some sort. And I honestly, and we'll get to these championship matches that you and I will probably go blow for blow. Yeah. But let's jump up to the Uso versus Uso. And you're going to be really shocked at my answer for this.
Really? Do tell.
It's yeet versus no yeet. I miss Usi. I miss that term. I used that term for about 5 months.
Yeah, I'm feeling Usi, baby.
I'm actually going with Jimmy in this match.
Really?
I'm going with Jimmy
Really?
Uso. I am. And I'm going to tell you why. I'm a twin, okay? And I know how twins work, and I know how we would be in the backstage talking to Triple H about this match. Jimmy has been a standard for the bloodline. He's swayed a little bit. He's done this. He's done that. My brother and I and my nephew were there when the Usos turned on Roman. You can still pause when that kick was made, and you can see us like this on camera because we were that close on SmackDown. Jimmy's going to win. And then Jay is going to realize that he cannot pursue his career without the bloodline.
Interesting. Because I think that's crap. I don't see a world that Jey Uso doesn't win this match. I mean, he's got his, the second coming of the Yes movement with his yeet that he's doing, just making the crowd just go up and down with his. I mean, I don't see a world that he doesn't bring his brother to the side of reality, because let's face it, he's been Roman's bitch for how long?
He has, but also remember, Jimmy's got Solo.
Don't even mention him, because he's the biggest flop, and he's the biggest flop the bloodline has.
The thumb of death, baby. The thumb of death. And I think Solo plays a part in this match. Jimmy wins. Jay's like, "Oh, main event Jey Uso, and I don't have a title shot at WrestleMania and all that." And then he realizes what Roman has told him the whole time, that he's been gone from the bloodline.
I mean, we'll see. It's an interesting theory.
They haven't used Jay correctly. I mean, he didn't. I mean, as over as he is, he couldn't even beat Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship.
Well, you see the trend we're seeing here. A lot of guys who are over that are being misused.
Yeah.
But
so do you have Jay on this?
Absolutely. Okay. I have Jay, because I honestly think either in this match or in the big match, I think you're going to see some potential surprise people from the bloodline that are currently outside of the stable have an impact in this match. Because don't forget, Tama Tonga, I'm pretty sure he signed with Booker T's.
He did.
I believe. I want to say you have. Oh man. The werewolf from MLW. What's his? Blanking on his name.
Yeah,
Jacob Fatu.
Yeah, Jacob Fatu. Where does Rikishi play in this match?
I mean, I think you'll see him come out at some point. I think if it's going to go the way you're saying, I think you're going to have Rikishi turn on Jay. That's what I think will get you in that mindset, and Jay in that mindset of like, okay, maybe I need my family. Maybe I can't go outside of my family. That's not how it's supposed to go. Then maybe that's how but you got to have, I think, some other type of outside interference besides Solo, because he's been able to fight Solo and Jimmy periodically at the same time. I think you have to have a little bit extra put on top of him to really squash him down.
Yeah, I feel that. I still think family is over everything, and that's even in professional wrestling. So, but I'm glad we're getting the match because this match has been a long time in the making. Let's move over now to the United States Championship, and this is where I go off the deep end. You have Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens versus the sucker himself, Logan Paul. I hate this guy with every being in my life. I hate him. I hated him when he became a huge megastar on TikTok or YouTube or whatever the hell he came out of. And I can't stand either one of the Paul brothers. And I am so pulling for Mike Tyson to absolutely murder his brother. But this match, first and foremost, Randy Orton shouldn't even be in this match.
No.
Randy Orton comes back from an absolute, almost career-ending injury. And the first WrestleMania that he comes back, you put him in a triple threat for the United States Championship.
Yes.
It's degrading. It's absolutely degrading to the name of Randy Orton. Randy Orton should be higher up on the card facing Gunther or facing Seth Rollins. He shouldn't be fighting against Logan Paul for the United States Championship. So my view on this, I believe that Kevin Owens is going to win the United States Championship. Randy Orton we could possibly see a heel turn from this. And Logan Paul goes back down to mid-card where he belongs.
Or off the card, that's good too, but
well, he's signed too big of a contract.
Ain't gonna happen. I agree with you. I think this is Kevin Owens' match to win because, first of all, Logan Paul shouldn't even be there. Second off, Randy Orton, he doesn't need it at this point in his career. At this point in Randy's career, it's either you're giving me a great story or you're going for the world title. I mean, honestly, Kevin Owens shouldn't even be in this match. Kevin Owens should be fighting Gunther or fighting Seth Rollins.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute.
But like, how does Kevin Owens not win this match? That's my thing. If Kevin Owens doesn't win this match, either one, you're going to really bring Randy super down off the high we were on when he came back, or you're going to keep Logan Paul here to muddy up the waters and just keep shitting the bed because that's really all he does.
Well, I hate to say it, but the night that Randy Orton came out to help in the match and then CM Punk came out, that automatically took Randy Orton off his high horse. So the minute that Orton stepped into the arena, he was off his high horse because CM Punk came back the same night. And I am a huge Punk fan. I don't care how shitty of an attitude he has. I don't care that people's like he's horrible backstage. I still think he should have knocked Jungle Boy completely out.
Yep.
Because Jack Perry is probably one of the most toxic people in a locker room, period. Just ask my wife. She was on the boat trying to get his autograph, and he was 47 minutes late to his autograph session. So it's Randy Orton has had to climb up to the top to do that because CM Punk stole his limelight. And I'm okay with that. But I would like to see Orton as champion again. I'd like to see Orton tied with Flair and Cena as 16-time world champion.
I mean, he's well deserving. I mean, what more does a man have to do?
Yeah. All right, here goes the match that is to me is useless. And that is Gunther versus Sami Zayn for the Intercontinental Championship. Tommy, I'm gonna get your view first because this match is just crap.
I mean, I'm a big Gunther fan.
Me too.
Gunther fan. And I just feel bad for how caved in Sami Zayn's chest is going to be in because he don't have a big one as it is. I mean, it's literally going to be as bad as when Gunther broke through the announce table when he faced Ciampa on NXT. It's going to be that bad. And I think Sammy's going to get wrecked. And I think it's a waste.
We're going to be creating merch, by the way, guys. The first one is going to be Logan Paul sucks. That's going to be our first shirt. Then the second shirt we're going to make is Sammy Crybabies.
Yeah.
Sami Zayn. I loved Sami Zayn as El Generico in ROH. I loved him. I loved the battles between him and Kevin Steen, which is now Kevin Owens in ROH.
So classic.
But this version of Sami Zayn makes me nauseous at my stomach because I felt that he has cried and cried and cried to management until they gave him a WrestleMania match. Because how do you go from facing the Usos and you and Kevin Owens winning the tag team championships a year ago at Mania, and then you lose the titles, and then you become absolutely useless on the roster? The Bloodline story, he was amazing in the Bloodline story.
I loved him. I think that's his best work he's done.
Period.
Hands down, period. He was that missing link that when he got added in, I didn't know how it was going to go at first. I was a little like, oh, what, just throwing Sammy in just to give him whatever? But he made that even better than what it was and elevated it. He made it Uzi.
He did make it Uzi. But this version, no, man, this ain't it. And if they think that Sami Zayn is the one that is going to dethrone Gunther, which he's already beat the Honky Tonk Man's record. Let's go ahead and place the facts here. Then I will absolutely probably throw something, and I will probably never think of the Intercontinental Championship as a high rewarded title belt ever again.
I want you to think about this. They had an opportunity to put anyone in this match. But you remember who was originally supposed to be in this match?
Who?
Brock Lesnar. It was supposed to be Lesnar, who, I don't know, can I say his name anymore? Is it okay?
You can. We don't believe in cancel culture here on Yankee Rebel Wrestlecast.
Because Brock Lesnar and Gunther was going to probably be one of the best matches of the night. Whatever night it was on. Because as much as Lesnar can throw anyone around, he can throw probably Gunther around too. I don't think he's fought anyone as physical as Gunther. Gunther is just a different animal, man.
Let's talk about that.
Different animal. Let's
talk about that for a minute. We see Cody and Rock last Friday night. Rock's making Cody bleed, putting blood on the belt, talking to Mama Rhodes. Whose faces do we see on the WrestleMania trailers? Who was the first one we saw, Tommy?
I mean, the first one I saw, I saw John Cena. I saw Cena's face. And then they panned over more, the Texas Rattlesnake. Tell me that's not a coincidence.
Who was on the end?
I honestly don't remember. I saw those two, and I was
Brock Lesnar.
Well, there we go. There we go.
So why are they putting Lesnar on the WrestleMania truck if Lesnar is not going to have some impact somehow in a match at WrestleMania? Go ahead.
Especially since, for a little bit he was kind of just blackballed. With the allegations that came out that he was involved, not, I don't think directly, but somehow in that whole messy shit. But the fact that they've been kind of showing his pictures here and there and, not giving him the Chris Benoit treatment, like, honestly, anything can happen. That just like with your main event match, which we'll talk about in a minute.
Yeah.
I think wholeheartedly that something's going to happen in that main event match. There's no way it's just going to be Cody and Roman. I can guarantee you that.
No. But
something's going to happen.
Understand, though, when the allegations came about and Lesnar's name was mentioned, WWE 2K24 came out and said Lesnar will not be in the game.
Yep, I can
Who
confirm.
who's in the game
Brock
now?
Lesnar. Because I play, you play showcase mode. I mean, you can't omit that match because Lesnar broke the streak.
Yeah.
So
So we have Lesnar in 2K. We have Lesnar on the WrestleMania truck. He's coming back. And I wouldn't bet the house against it, but I feel like Lesnar could interfere in this match at some capacity.
I mean, I hope he ends Sami Zayn before he can get to the match.
That's a
Like I hope,
possibility as well.
like I hope, and I think it'll happen more so on Mania night than leading up to it.
Yes.
I think you'll just see Sami Zayn getting tossed.
Yep,
Just,
out back.
You get tossed out back, and who comes around the corner? Cowboy Brock.
Yeah.
Actually, no, fuck Cowboy Brock. Cowboy Brock was too nice.
Yeah.
Bring back the Beast Incarnate.
The Beast Incarnate, man.
Shave your head.
Suplex City, baby.
Shave your beard. Take him to Suplex City, and put on a banger match, and put Gunther even more over than he already is.
See, that's what I would do. If I was booking this show, I would have Sami Zayn beat to death backstage. Lesnar comes out as Gunther's opponent. Gunther goes over because that's really the only major star that he's not beaten.
Right. Right, because if you remember, they had their little standoff at the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
They had that standoff, and I'm sitting there like, oh no. Oh no. This could be great. Except
and I would like to see it happen. I would. I would love to see it happen.
But they need to fix their shit because right now.
All right. So our next match, we're going to talk about Io Sky versus Bayley. This is kind of a no-brainer. I love Io Sky. I love Asuka. I love Kyrie. But Bayley is going to be a champion again, and it's well-deserved. I like babyface Bayley, but I think Bayley is definitely going to get over in this match. This is kind of like as Paul Heyman would say, this isn't a prediction, it's a spoiler.
Absolutely.
So
yeah. I just don't see an avenue where Bayley doesn't win this because this is her redemption moment. This is her moment to get back at all of them for turning on her, the group she started.
Yeah.
So I don't see where Bayley doesn't come out as the women's champion. And I'm interested to see how she evolves.
Yeah.
Because I don't think she's going to be obviously the same Bayley she has been. She's obviously turning face because she got beat to a pulp almost. I'm just interested to see because she's definitely altered her character pretty dramatically. So I'm interested to see kind of what they have her do as champion because it could
she's
be
a draw. She's a draw, Tommy.
Absolutely.
Bayley can definitely draw, and the Japanese women wrestlers are so much fun. We got a chance to see them. We went up to the railing during a match at a house show, and Kairi Sane blew me and my brother kiss and stuff. It was funny. And they're just fun. But Bayley will be back as a champion, and that's it. Let's go on to the other women's match, and that is Rhea Ripley versus the man, Becky Lynch. I'm going to start off by saying that Rhea retains because I think Becky's getting ready to take a break. And I think this is that people believe that it's not WrestleMania in the women's division without Becky Lynch. And I don't think anybody can take mommy off the top.
I cannot stand Becky Lynch. Cannot stand her. I don't think she should have won the Elimination Chamber. I don't think she should be in this match. She doesn't do anything for me anymore.
Tiffany Stratton should have won the Elimination Chamber.
I mean,
or Liv Morgan.
Yeah, Becky Lynch to me is in the same state as Bianca Belair. You're doing the same stuff over and over again, and it's not sticking.
Yeah.
It's like you can tell when you got it and when you don't. And talk about The Rock. He's an easy one. He can say his catchphrases a million times over, and I am here for it. I am absolutely here for it. But when you go with the man, Becky, it just makes me want to puke. Like, no one's taking Rhea Ripley off the top right now.
And let's face it, the disarmor is not going to take out Rhea Ripley.
No, have you seen her arms? They're bigger than mine.
Yeah.
I mean, no.
Rhea is going to be a champion for a long, long time. And the only two people on those rosters that can dethrone her will be either Bianca Belair or Jade Cargill, and that's it. Or if Charlotte comes back from her injury.
Another wild card. Because I've heard she's getting healthier and healthier. So we'll see when she comes back.
Yeah.
Because that's another a big main event player that you got to watch out for.
I hate that so far on this card we just have two women's matches. I think that the women's tag team titles should be defended, and they may add it.
I didn't even know they still had them.
Yeah. It's Asuka and Kairi have them. I mean, don't they?
Yeah, they have them, but do they really?
Kabuki Warriors.
Yeah, they have them, but what are they doing with them? I mean, they don't promote they have titles, but they don't promote them half the time. Why is there a pay-per-view that you don't see the U.S. title defended on it?
Yeah.
Or why aren't these tag team titles being the titles should be defended at the pay-per-view is my view.
The women's tag team titles fell off when Naomi and Sasha Banks.
That is true.
Left WWE, and they were excellent champions.
Yeah.
But let's move on to the next match, and that is Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre. Tommy, I'll let you go first on this one.
Yeah, I think Drew McIntyre is going to get his due. As much as I may not care for Drew, he's been kind of growing on me the past couple weeks because he's just being logical. Like if you just break it down, like as much as Drew may be a hypocrite for talking CM Punk, Punk can't do anything. So really, Drew's just talking to talk. Seth has to defend his title, but also has to interject himself in the whole Cody Rhodes thing. So I just think at the end of the day, Seth ain't going to be on his game.
So you think night one tag team match is going to take it out of Seth?
Oh yeah. I think that's going to get Seth off his game, and I think because all Drew has to focus on is Seth. Drew ain't got anything else to focus on. I think he's going to kick his head off. I hope he kicks his head off.
I'm going to agree with you on this match, but for a couple different reasons. One, whoever has given Drew McIntyre creative freedom has done a wonderful job. The meme picture of him laughing, pointing at CM Punk's grave T-shirt is an absolute genius. He had a WrestleMania shirt that came out that with check marks on it that included injuring CM Punk, defeating Seth Rollins, and all this. He left an arena and drove around the parking lot where the fans were waiting outside to get autographs, and everybody started booing him, and he started playing CM Punk's theme music and drove around a couple more times before he left the arena. This guy is having a blast. And
DM Hunk.
Yeah, DM Hunk. And we got to remember Drew got us through COVID as champion with no bodies in the arenas, Titantrons, screens. And I think this is now time for Drew McIntyre to be that heel champion that we need, because Drew has the charisma and the promo ability now to be a very good, long-standing champion for the WWE. That's my honest opinion.
Yeah, so, I mean, I personally think coming out of this is you're going to have Drew be champ, and then you're going to eventually, when Punk is healthy, you're going to have that match.
Absolutely.
And the match has already been built up, which is smart. Like
Yep.
having it secondary being built in without having to do too much about it. Like you already got the heat, you already got your story
Yep.
there. Just interject a healthy Punk, and I mean that's really all she wrote. I don't think Seth has a chance.
Long-term storytelling. All right. Well, let's talk about the elephants in the room, and that is the night one main event, and that is Roman Reigns and the final boss, The Rock, versus Cody and Seth. The winner of this match, it'll either determine that there's a clean match between Cody and Roman on night 2, or there will be interference available for the match on night 2. Go ahead, Tommy.
I mean,
Show everybody your tank top first.
I think you know where I'm going with this.
I do.
So let me just say this. I don't think there is a realm in which there is not interference in this match. I think it's a given. So, with that being said, I think Rock and Roman are going to win night one's main event, which leads me into night two's main event of Cody versus Roman. I personally think that you're going to have interference, and I've gone back and forth because I have two different scenarios you could go. You could have The Rock stay heel in his Hollywood Rock, which loving the t-shirts. His entrance, amazing. Just that, just everything about it is just amazing. And you keep him in his lane, and you have Austin and Cena come in and help Cody finish his story. I could also see The Rock turning on Roman because you saw initially when he first started, his finger wasn't up. He had the loser symbol out.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, that's just the planting of the seeds there. So I think that could also be a possibility. But I mean, the banner and the truck kind of gave it away for me. I think you're going to have a Texas-sized stunner and an attitude adjustment. Well, more so an FU. I think an FU is going to happen.
Yeah.
Night 2.
All right. I'm kind of agreeing with you here. I love Cody, but not to the extent of how The Rock has came back. Cody will have an amazing promo. Then the following week, he'll cry. He'll have an amazing promo, and then he'll cry. I don't trust Seth Rollins as his partner.
No.
The Rock has done such good promo work, better than anybody in the last 15 years of the company.
That is so true.
When you are going on TikTok and you're getting more views with your promos on TikTok than you are anytime you're in an arena, you're over, pal. You're over. And he is doing his best promo work, I believe, that he's ever done, period. And bringing in the Rhodes family, all that, we are going to eventually see Roman versus The Rock. There is no question. The first promo that he gave when he came out, he was like, should I sit at a table? Should I sit at a bar? Should I sit at a booth? Or should I sit at the head of the table? That was his promo, and people have forgotten about that.
Oh, that to me was like, it's so simple. But yet even when he was talking, I didn't even think about it. Because he was doing his typical Rock thing, like, come out, make his jokes and do all that stuff. And then he was talking about where he's going to eat. I didn't think anything of it.
Yeah.
But you planted that seed in there, and then you fast forward to now when he's holding up the loser symbol, when the Bloodline's putting up the 1 sign. You can't tell me that that's not throwing shade at Roman,
Yeah,
especially when Roman made The Rock acknowledge him.
yeah. And let's not forget the WrestleMania press conference. Rock was leading Roman, and Roman was always behind Dwayne. And we're going to see a turn of the tide. Now, whether that happens at WrestleMania or not is going to be a question, but I do believe we're going to have some interesting turns. I think we're going to see some interactions. I do know that Stone Cold will definitely be there because they've already released the Philly 316 T-shirt on WWE Shop. It can't be an altercation without Steve Austin coming out and opening up a couple cans of whoop ass on somebody,
Especially at WrestleMania. I mean, and it also does this. It gives you that little bit of nostalgia that you've wanted with The Rock and
Mm-hmm.
Austin for all these years, and you get it without it taking away from the talent that's here.
Agreed.
It's supplementing, which is what it should be. And especially since Stone Cold isn't in The Rock's capacity of being at this point full time. I mean,
Yeah,
he's here every week more than Roman is, which is
yeah,
a whole nother story. But to have him as a supplemental piece, to have Cena as a supplemental piece, given Cena's even said in interviews that his career's almost over. He doesn't have much time left.
yeah. He's too busy being Ricky Stenicki,
Oh,
but which was a funny movie. But Roman is the head of the TKO board, which means that he is or the Rock. I'm sorry. And that means that he's the boss and he's the final boss. I mean, he can take the title from Roman anytime he wants to.
I mean, he said, Seth, your title goes away just like that.
And if
that
you look at that
clown
as
emoji, that walking clown emoji.
If you look at the scenario, we're having an Avengers scenario right now. We had The Rock do the Thanos snap. You've got Cody as Captain America. And you're going to see the Avengers assemble. Stone Cold, whoever else decides to help him, Cena. And you're going to see an Avenger-type storyline take place night 2 of WrestleMania. Mark my word.
Yeah.
Mark my word.
So it's funny you say that because I saw an image that somebody put together. I wish I could find it. That had that, like, The Rock right now is creating a cinematic masterpiece.
Yes.
And just sit back and watch. And I've sat back. I'm not critiquing anything he's done. It's just been wonderful. Just the injection of just a much needed dose of attitude is what's been missing, because for the past 10-15 years it's just been the same cupcake. I think at one point Roman or Ambrose said suffer and succotash. Like, it's been, you have grown adults talking like they're 5-year-olds.
PG-13 era is over for WWE.
No,
when they move to Netflix in 2025, the Attitude Era is back.
And we're getting a small dose of it right now.
Yeah. What do you think is the outcome of night 2? Or are you saying Roman retains or Cody finishes the story?
I think in both of my scenarios I mentioned Cody's going to finish his story. So I think he will, because that in turn will free up the title that The Rock doesn't need for you to continue the bloodline implosion, the bloodline civil war, I'll call it.
Yeah.
So I think then you can start breaking them off, and then you could really start bringing in some of the extra family members.
Yeah.
And you could really set that up for a traditional Survivor Series match if you really wanted to go that route. But
absolutely,
I think Cody finishes the story one way or the other. Interference. But I think at the end of the day, Roman is going to lose his belt. Contrary to what people say about the whole Hogan record, I think I think Cody will finish the story.
Yeah, I'm not gonna disagree with that. I think Cody does finish the story. Cody is the top babyface in the company, and he is over with everybody. I mean, he even has the crybabies to thank for that. So we're going to move on from WrestleMania. I do want to go into the AEW power rankings. We don't just talk about WWE around here, but before I go into the AEW power rankings, I do want to go over OVW real fast, because we here at the Yankee Rebel Wrestlecast are OVW fans. And I do want to let you know that tomorrow night in London, Kentucky, one of my old stomping ground, OVW is live at the Laurel Optimus Club. And as you can see, EC3 is the champion. We've got my boy Cash Flow back here. That's the gentleman that is great with a kendo stick. And we have Hollywood back here, folks. If you watch the Wrestler series on Netflix, OVW is coming back to its roots, and it is a phenomenal promotion. Al Snow has done an amazing job along with Matt Jones from KSR. They've done a great job revitalizing OVW. My brother and I had a chance to meet some of the folks from OVW, talk with them. I've got my OVW t-shirt. And if you guys are in and around London, Kentucky tomorrow night, make sure you guys are heading down and doing that. And I know that our good friend, Mr. Aaron Rose, is going to be doing ring announcing for a promotion tomorrow night as well. So make sure that you guys, if you're closer to Aaron, go to Aaron's promotion that he's doing that. He's, to me, the greatest ring announcer that other than God, I'm having trouble with names tonight. AEW's
Jim Ross?
No, not Jim Ross. Ring announcer, not commentator.
Oh, Justin Roberts?
Justin Roberts. Yeah.
Right.
So OVW is going to be live, and then they're going to be live in Nashville, Tennessee on Friday, April 26th. So
I was going to say a quick thing, man.
Go ahead.
WWE really flopped on EC3. They did. He is such a talented dude. And the fact that they Vince just broke him down, man. But I'm glad he's having the success he is. He's killing it.
I agree with that. And with that, we're going to jump into the power rankings for AEW. Tommy and I are huge AEW fans, and I'm not giving up on this company. I think this company is just at the point where they are going to start doing major things again. I mean, you got to look. They lost Punk. They lost Jade Cargill. They've lost a pretty good amount of folks, but they've also gained some as well. Currently, your world champion is Samoa Joe, which is probably to me the smartest thing they've ever done. Adam Copeland, a.k.a. Edge, is your TNT champion. We have Roderick Strong as the international champion. And then we have Okada, I think, as the continental champion, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. Yeah, he is. Yeah.
And then we have Timeless Tony Storm, the women's champion, which is that persona has taken her to new heights.
Yeah, that's something that WWE just couldn't do. She is amazing. She was already great. And I mean, AEW kind of pulled the WWE and made her a bigger star.
Yes.
I mean, the fact that they literally blur her out in black and white besides her lips tells you that character isn't over. I don't know.
Oh, it's huge, man. And then the pay-per-view, they let Mariah May come out as the old Tony Storm, and everybody's like, oh my God, we're going to get old Tony back. And then the music hits and she comes out. And I'm like, that is just absolutely awesome. We have Julia Hart as the TBS champion. The tag team champions currently in AEW are vacant. And then, of course, we have the Acclaimed and Daddy Ass as
Scissor
the
me,
trios
baby.
champion.
Scissor me, baby.
So that part's okay. Roderick Strong deserves some applause, but let's face it, Orange Cassidy shouldn't have lost that belt.
I don't know, man. Roderick Strong has been busting his ass for years, and I don't think gotten nearly the recognition that he deserves. Because when him and Adam Cole and all them were in WWE in the Undisputed Era, he was the one that they added on. And I think he was he was
Dee's telling you to watch it, Tommy.
Really?
Yeah, she's
really.
I actually just found her the Orange Cassidy AEW figure, and she's
no disrespect to Cassidy, no disrespect to Orange Cassidy. All I'm saying is that Roderick Strong's been busting his butt. He's one of the best technical wrestlers on the planet, in my opinion, and I think it's well deserved. Simple as that.
But let's take a look at this. And AEW is the only wrestling organization that I know of that has power rankings. I like this because I like the win-loss record, because what it does is it eliminates some jobber from going up and getting a title shot. That, to me, I really enjoy this part of AEW. Pro wrestling is a sport. And you're not just going to hand a title match against Samoa Joe unless you are in that contention. So, but let's take a look at these contenders right now to the right of the men's champions. You have Swerve Strickland in the number 1 spot, Orange Cassidy number 2, Jon Moxley, which I'm honestly completely sick of. At number 3 with his stock rising, Will Ospreay in the number 4 spot that's moving up, and Bryan Danielson, which is moving up. Will Ospreay and Bryan Danielson deserve titles over Jon Moxley any freaking day of the week.
Yeah, Jon Moxley, to me, he's just one of those guys who he's stale. And I mean, when he left WWE, he was complaining about, doing the same stuff all the time and, not having all this stuff. And what is he doing now? He changed his persona to a more hardcore version of himself and is doing the same exact thing.
We were in attendance.
He's a dick.
Yeah.
I'm just going to put it that way.
We were in attendance when he almost broke Hangman Page's neck. And on that really bad spot. And he was kind of dickish there because they were in Cincinnati. So it is kind of dickish then. But I do think that the addition of Will Ospreay from New Japan and Bryan Danielson moving up in the rankings, I want to see those guys with straps around their waist. It doesn't take anything away from Orange Cassidy or Swerve Strickland, because Swerve has also busted his ass. But I think that 4 and 5 need to be swapped with 1 and 2. That's my honest opinion. Move Moxley down to number 12 or whatever. And that, I think that's where we need to be.
Yeah, I mean, when you see the talent that Bryan Danielson is, probably the best technical wrestler we've, arguably ever seen.
Since Dean Malenko.
Yeah, absolutely. Even I would even say Benoit, even Chris Benoit. You want to bring him up. Will Ospreay can do it all.
Yeah,
the man can literally do anything you want him to do. And I definitely think that Cassidy should be lower on the list. Moxley shouldn't even be on it. He's only on it, I think, honestly, because he kisses Tony Khan's ass. But
I would put Claudio there before I would put Moxley.
Claudio has been so underutilized, undervalued. I mean,
Somebody asked, are we allowed to say Benoit's name out loud?
Chris Benoit. Chris Benoit. I will say it till the day I die. But but yeah, I mean, you talk
fucking
about
kill
Claudio.
your family and you get your name spoken.
Yep. That's a whole subject for a different day. Don't get me.
Oh yeah, that's a different live stream.
That's a whole different stream.
Oh my God.
But you talk about Claudio. You know, he was underutilized in WWE. He was over with the swing. I mean, I love seeing it.
The bar was great though, Tommy.
The bar
was great.
One of the best tag teams they had. And they split that up, and then he left. And to me, AEW shit on him by giving him the ROH championship. It's like, hey, let me appease you without actually appeasing you. And let me give you the lower version of the belt we can offer.
Yeah, but look who's held that title though, Tommy.
I know.
Kevin Owens, Seth Rollins, CM Punk, AJ Styles. Those guys have held that belt. So are they really shitting on him when he's holding a coveted title that Tony Khan just decided to buy the promotion because it was tanking?
I mean, sure, did he elevate the belt from what it has been in the past since I think Seth Rollins was the last one to hold it? Since, Seth Rollins hold it? Sure. But Claudio has long deserved. Yeah, Claudio has long deserved a world title, like the main world title, and I don't know if he's ever going to get it.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
All right, so let's move on to the women's. This is probably the biggest bunch of horse crap I've ever seen in my life for the women's division because they're missing out so many people. Your contenders for the women's, when did Thunder Rosa come back?
It beats me. I'm like her in so long.
I'm like, you were gone for so long and now you come back with the number one spot. I haven't even seen her on television. Either that or I took a bathroom break. I am not a Thunder Rosa fan. And I know she loves Dave LaGreca over there at Busted Open. Shout out to Dave. But as a wrestler, I can't get behind her. I just can't. And Mariah May, she's great, but is she really a number 2 spot right now? Willow Nightingale, out of this list, has done more for the women's wrestling division in AEW than anybody on that list.
And she's a sweetheart. I mean,
yeah.
When you and I were on the Jericho cruise, she was like, we were right up ringside basically, and she was talking to everybody. She's a great talent. She's a great person, and she should be higher on this list. She shouldn't.
If I'm going to take these 5 women and put them in a correct list, Willow Nightingale is going to be my number 1. Serena Deeb, I would put at number 2 because of her wrestling ability. But I don't understand how you put Deonna Purrazzo at number 4 when she just had a world championship match. It just doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, so, especially
but where's Sky Blue at?
Who knows?
I mean, she's been with Julia Hart. I mean, where's she at? She's more over in the women's division than anybody. That's just me. I don't think that anybody is going to dethrone Toni Storm, at least for the next year.
No. At the end of the day, it's timeless Toni, baby.
That's it. Julia Hart, yeah, you can take the title from Julia, but she finally got her due because she worked her ass off to get to where she's at right now as well. And it doesn't hurt that you're part of House of Black as well.
That's true.
And that helps catapult your career. So let's jump into the tag team division where all the tag team titles are vacant. You have Best Friends as the number 1 contender. I don't even know how the hell that happened. I love Trent Barrera. I love Chuck. Chuck's a Kentucky boy, but I just don't see how they can be above the people on this list.
Here's what kills me. FTR. How
Number
are they
5.
above FTR? You tell
Number
me
5.
how FTR is 5. That alone just disqualifies this list.
The Midnight
As
Express of AEW is number 5 on the tag team rankings.
God.
You got Big Bill and Ricky Starks ahead of them. That was just Tony Khan one day saying, you know what, we're going to put a small guy with a big guy. And Tony's like, oh, wait, didn't we do that with Big Cass and Enzo? It works, so we're going to do it.
Yeah, because clearly Ricky Starks is like Enzo Amore.
Not even close. Now,
No.
Ricky's a great wrestler. And I like Ricky. He doesn't sign things, but he does take pictures. But and here we go again, Moxley and Claudio. I mean, it's like I would rather that be Danielson and Claudio than John Moxley and Claudio.
Yeah, because again, they put Moxley over Danielson, and I think it should be reversed. Bryan Danielson, I feel like, has done more for that company than Moxley has. I mean, sure, Moxley's held the belt when, the whole Punk thing happened, and he's helped in certain ways. But on the grand scheme of things, I think Bryan Danielson can do more for your company than John Moxley ever could have thought of.
Well, let's look at it. Where's Hangman Page at on the contenders for things? Where's Sasha Banks, now known as Mercedes Moné? Why is she not on the list? If you're going to bring Thunder Rosa back and then all of a sudden she becomes the number 1 contender, well, I'm sure you're paying her a lot more money than Thunder Rosa. Why is she not on the contender list?
I mean, let's be honest. You're probably paying Mercedes Moné all of these ladies combined on the contenders list salary and then some.
Yeah. And
so the fact that she's not on there, but Thunder Rosa is, and she hasn't even been on television that we know of, doesn't make any sense.
Has she made an impact since she's joined AEW?
I mean, sure, she's brought, her name power, but to me, that's really all she's done. And correct me if I'm wrong, did she say to some outlet that eventually she's going to be back to WWE anyway?
Well, I mean, Vince is the reason that a lot of the people wouldn't come back anyway. But now that that's not an issue, I would say whatever her contract is, she'll work it out and she'll go back.
Because the Vince exodus, where everyone left, or and they all went to AEW and built up AEW, which is great because AEW is a good product. But like, how many are actually going to stay versus how many are going to trickle their way back?
Yeah.
Because if too many go back, then it's just going to be a surplus of people with, so some of them got to stay. I'm just going to say this out of the blue, out of nowhere. I think that if the Undisputed Era were to go back to WWE, I think they could, with Triple H firmly in charge, could conquer the WWE. Because I am such a huge fan of Adam Cole, baby, that I think the sky would be the limit for them. But I don't know if AEW is going to do it for them.
I mean, we have to understand too that AEW has been the bad boy of wrestling, and now WWE is just taking that wide right turn to start using cursing and things like that. AEW has been doing it from the get-go. I mean, let's face it, MJF, without him, there would not have been decent promos in AEW to begin with.
That is true. Because MJF is, some weeks, the sole reason I watched.
Yeah.
Was just to hear him talk. Because he would say things like CM Punk that people didn't have the balls to say. Yeah. I mean, he would tell it like it was, and whether he blurred the lines of reality and story, I mean, you didn't know. You didn't know at times.
And, we talked about before the show that, the report came out today that saying that he's still under contract and he's still injured. Could they be swerving us and him actually show up at WrestleMania?
I would personally love to see that, but I don't know if if he were to sign, if he would come back that soon, only because of the idea you brought up earlier, where when they go Netflix in I believe January,
Yeah.
that it's gonna go full on like Attitude Era ish. I don't think you bring him in and kind of water him down
But they haven't watered down The
in a
Rock.
way. But no, but he's the only one they really haven't though.
Yeah.
He's the only one they really haven't, and what privilege do you give that to? Because if you give it to one, to me, you got to give it to everybody.
Let's face it, though. MJF goes to WWE. He is the modern day Ric Flair.
Oh, absolutely.
No question.
He has some. He has some Roddy Piper in him to me.
He does.
Like,
He
definitely
does.
has some Roddy Piper in it, but he could be the modern day Ric Flair. And I mean, the man literally yells at children.
He does.
Like he'll sign your figure and chuck it and kick it and damage it. So it's worth not as much as it. Like the man lives his persona, and it's not often you see that.
So let's finish up AEW with the trios champions. I do love the trio champions because it does open up more doors for more teams to be aligned. It's more. That's what I like about AEW. There's more belt options, and that it can help and it can hurt a promotion. But I do like this trio championship. Bang Bang Gang, which is great. Jay White, don't know where he's at. There's no reports that I'm seeing where Jay White, he hasn't been on TV forever. I do love the fact that Bang Bang Gang is kind of like a mid Bullet Club. The Elite, which doesn't make any sense to me. And there you go, Blackpool Combat Club again. Undisputed Kingdom, which should be number 1. And then you have the House of Black, number 5, which has held those titles. I would love to see Malachi back in WWE. I think that he could be this generation's Undertaker.
Oh yeah.
And I say take Brody with him.
Yeah, I kind of want to piggyback off that and just say, even in more depth, especially given Bray Wyatt's death, I think there's that void that hasn't been filled yet, and whether Malachi comes back with Brody King and they do something in WWE, which I think could be really good. I also think that you could fill that void with Bray Wyatt's brother.
Oh, Dallas?
Yeah, have you seen the stuff he's been doing? It's amazing. And I think, they could use something like that in the company because I feel like that element is missing. That Taker-like element, that supernatural where it's just missing, and I think that would be huge.
Well, I do like the fact that they have Bo Dallas in NXT. He's getting a chance to learn from Shawn Michaels. He's getting that. I think that they are kind of running what we would consider a test run of what can we do when we do move you to the main roster. I do think that it's going to be over. I think it's going to be hugely over because we are missing that aspect of professional wrestling right now, and that's with the Undertaker retiring, Bray Wyatt's death, and it's something that we have to have back as wrestling fans because we like that mysterious, that eerie side of the business, and I think that is one of the things that's missing in it. But Tommy, I want us to wrap up tonight with anything that we want to do our final thoughts with.
All right, man, you go first. I will give you the floor.
My final thoughts. I feel like friggin' Jerry Springer. Don't catch STDs. Yankee Rebel Wrestlecast was created to bring you a different style of wrestling show. You have podcasts, you have great shows like Busted Open. Again, big shout out to Dave LaGreca, Bully Ray, Mark Henry. You guys still messed up firing your producer. What was it, Gabby? Is their name? I don't know. Anyway. But they are really the first show that has done what we're doing. And I want this show to be a place that people can come and share their opinions, agree with us, disagree with us, think that we're complete tools. I'm okay with that. I've been a wrestling fan since I was able to watch television. And I'm an old guy, so I've been a wrestling fan for a long time. I can still remember the AWA. I had the figures to prove it. But right now, I think that we are in one of the greatest situations of professional wrestling that we've ever been in the last 30 years. I feel like that well, maybe not the 30, but yeah, because Monday Night Wars were a long time ago. Not since the Monday Night Wars have we experienced what we're experiencing right now as wrestling fans. The Rock coming back and fulfilling almost a full-time role has helped the business. Roman holding the strap as long as he has helped the wrestling business, because that is long-term storytelling. And that is something that Vince McMahon, which can completely kiss my big white ass, did not do, because all Vince did is pushed his big guys, tank tag team wrestling, and made everybody jobbers.
Oh, good shit. Good shit.
You're fired. And with the addition of AEW and AEW finding their personality and finding out who they are, has given the opportunity for WWE to sit back and go, we've done a lot of stupid shit the last decade. And it's time for us to step our game up. And now they're doing that. You're starting to see a resurgence in NXT. You're starting to see a lot of different shows happen. We had the deal with Netflix that took place. They moved to Peacock, which I hate, but I still accept it because I can still look at the library. I miss the WWE Network. But I think that we are at a place now that other promotions like your OVWs, your ROHs, your GCWs, shout out to Matt Cardona, the Deathmatch King, and those organizations it's allowing their doors to open wider and get an audience that they previously didn't have, because people are tired of the washed down, let's go to commercial break so we can make our money. When we come back, we'll fucking have the Miz versus some jobber from Tulsa, Oklahoma. And we're now at a place where they know they have to produce every week, which is why when we first started the broadcast, I was so shocked to see SmackDown in such just a crappy manner. Because I'm like, tonight's AEW show is going to be better than what WWE's putting on.
Way better.
So in my final remark, wrestling is in a good spot. And we are going to deliver on that with our broadcast. We know we're going to blow up. It's going to happen. We're too opinionated for this not to blow up. So we're going to need all the help from everybody that's watched us tonight, everybody that's going to be watching us. We're going to set a standard for broadcast media in professional wrestling. And that is not only because I've worked in the industry, because me and Tommy have watched this for years, because we've got the experience. It's because we don't give a shit what we say on the air. We don't care. I don't care that it offends you that I hate Vince McMahon, There's millions of people out there that hates Vince McMahon. Am I going to slander the man? Absolutely not. But I don't like him. So if you want real life wrestling opinionated sources, Yankee Rebel Wrestlecast is your place, and we welcome you because we've been expecting you for a long time. Tommy, the floor is yours.
Right. And our goal from the inception, and we talked about this earlier, was, you have Busted Open. That gives you, with Mark Henry and Bully Ray, the business side of it, the behind the scenes from a talent perspective side of it. We're here to give you the side of it from you, the fan. Just a person who loves wrestling, has watched it their whole life, and just wants more of it. But not from their side, from our side. Because we're here to give you that perspective, to make you think a little bit. Again, like Brian said, you might not like what we have to say. You might like what we have to say. But it's going to give you a different perspective than what you may be currently having right now. Because I've watched wrestling since I was little. And I've withstood, I grew up in the Attitude Era, ruthless aggression, and then the shitstorm that's happened after that since. And now we are in a spot where wrestling is popular again, it's entertaining, and you have multiple avenues that you can go to. Almost every day of the week, you got a wrestling promotion having a show. So it's like, what a time to be a wrestling fan, and what a time to just delve into the business and have these conversations. Because, it's not often that you get, Brian and I that come together and make this stream for you to give you that other avenue. Because all you've had is Busted Open or just, your barbershop chatter. So share this. Please get involved, like, comment, do what you got to do. Appreciate the support, everyone.
Thank you, Tommy. I couldn't have said it any better. And my last words of the night is fuck Logan Paul. I literally hate this guy with every bearing that is inside of me. And I just can't. I can't watch him. He's so athletic, but I cannot stand Logan Paul. And I hope one day Logan Paul will find it in his prime ass to come on to the Yankee Rebel Wrestlecast so that he and I can have a deep discussion. Because I want to understand why he is what he is. And it's not taken away from the guy's fame. It's how did you get there, and what made you decide one day that you want to be a WWE superstar, and then they decide that they put your dumb ass with a United States Championship strap
and break all former protocol and put his logo on the PLE ring.
So every time we watch a premium live event with WWE, we got to look at that dumbass bottle of Prime, which I've tasted Prime. It tastes like shit. And it's horrible. It's horrible.
It's funny you mentioned that, because when Triple H was interviewed a couple months ago, they were asking about Logan Paul and Prime. He's like, because I think he was taste testing Prime and then KSI's drink. And they're both, I've heard, shit. But either way,
I would rather have a C4 Energy. At least they sponsored WWE.
Thank you.
Jesus Christ.
And the fact that Triple H made the comment of, I see him holding it. I never see him drinking it. But yet we're going to put it on our ring for every premium live event.
Horrible, man. I hope that they didn't have to pay a dime to Logan Paul to do that. Because it's a waste of money. It's a waste of money.
I mean, they're already paying him more than what some talent should be paid, but
absolutely. So that's my Jerry Springle final word of the day. I will probably get our Logan Paul Sucks t-shirt. I'll probably have it ready by the end of next week. So if y'all want to order that, we'll make it available. And then Sammy Crybabies will come after that. So,
yep, and just tweet us hashtag Logan Paul Sucks.
Yes, absolutely. And guys, you can find us. Yeah, I'm gonna hashtag that on every post now. Logan Paul Sucks.
Had a great day with my family. Hashtag Logan Paul.
Yes. And you can find us on YouTube under Yankee Rebel Wrestlecast. You can find us on our Facebook group, which is Yankee Rebel Wrestlecast. And by God, guess what? You can also find us on Twitter X under Yankee Rebel Wrestlecast. And
real hard for you guys.
It's really tough. Really tough. For those Cody Crybabies, it's going to be tough to get that going. But speaking for Tommy and I, we want to thank you guys for being part of our first ever stream. This is like the birth of a child for us, which, I mean, you know more than I do because my kids are grown now. But we're going to do this every week, and we're going to bring you humor. We may offend you, but hey, whatever. That we're not for everybody. And you may see me and Tommy virtually fight at some point because that's just the way that it is. But Tommy is the Yankee because he is up in New England. I am the Rebel because I'm in the South. And that's why we named it Yankee Rebel Wrestlecast, because he's got a thick accent and so do I. But we're from different areas, and we're going to have some special guests for you. I'm already getting some things lined up so that we can have some special guests. And it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have a blast, and just cannot wait for that cease and desist letter from WWE because it's going to be fun. We're going to read it. We're going to turn it into a DX spot.
It's going to be great.
It's going to be it's going to be huge. It's going to be huge.
It's going to be huge. It's going to be great.
It's going to be great.
Cease and desist letter. It's going to be wonderful.
But please support us. If you guys want any of the merch that we're going to be releasing, please feel free to let us know. We'll build a store here in the next few days to have that stuff ready to go. It will have our logo on the back so that you can shout out to everybody that you listen to Yankee Rebel Wrestlecast every single week. And we wanted to
promote us.
Yeah, absolutely. Share, like, just promote the hell out of us. We'll show you love back. And I'm very happy with tonight's show. We've done a great job. We went over tonight's Shitty SmackDown. We went over the WrestleMania card. We went over OVW's next shows, and we also went over the AEW Power Rankings, which are also a crock of shit, but that's okay. And
hopefully they get better next week. We'll
see. We'll see. They may put Goldberg on there next. Jesus Christ. If Goldberg shows up at WrestleMania, I'm turning that shit off. I swear to God, dude. Goldberg he may know cars, man, but and I marked out for him back in the Monday Night Wars.
Spears Logan Paul, I'm fine.
I don't give a shit who spears him.
Oblivion.
I don't care who spears him. I'm thinking at this point, why was it the Blue Blazer? Why was it Owen Hart and not Logan Paul?
Oh. Oh,
Jesus.
God.
Rest in peace, Owen. We love you, buddy.
And on that note, everybody.
Yes.
Thank you for tuning in, everybody. We really appreciate it. Stay tuned for all the stuff we got coming. And we will see you next week.
That's right. And don't forget, what's our friggin' tagline here? I can't even read the damn thing. if there's what to do it next week, I don't even know our damn tagline anymore. I'm so worked up over freaking Logan Paul.
If there's a worse place in hell, I'm in it.
That's right. Welcome to the Yankee Rebel Wrestlecast, everybody. But everybody have a great night. Thank you guys for tuning in. We love you guys, and we'll see you next week. Much love.